Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Krista, and today we're diving into a really important topic, the financial mistakes to avoid in 2025. Whether you're looking to build wealth, save for the future, or just make smarter money moves, avoiding these mistakes can make all the difference. So, if you want to set yourself up for financial success in the new year, make sure to stick around for the whole video. All right, let's kick things off with a huge mistake that majority of us do make, not budgeting or tracking our expenses. I know, budgeting sounds really boring, but trust me, it is crucial here. Without a clear understanding of where your money is going, it's so easy to waste cash on things you don't really need. In 2025, with so many subscription services, digital payments, and automatic renewals, it's easier now than ever to forget about small expenses adding up really quickly. You could be spending $15 on a streaming service you hardly ever use, or $10 on that daily coffee run. Now, I'm not saying to become a spreadsheet master, but at the very least, track your expenses using apps like Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar, app, or even your bank's built in features. If you can't account for where every dollar is going, it's going to be really hard to figure out where you can save and invest. Next up, let's talk about inflation. In 2025, inflation is still a huge factor, and if you're not paying attention to it, you could be losing lots of money. Simply put, inflation is the increase in the cost of goods and services over time. If your income isn't growing at the same pace, your buying power will shrink. To combat this, it's important to focus on investing. Keeping your money in a savings account with a low interest rate isn't quite enough because inflation will eat away at that money. Consider diversifying into assets like stocks, real estate, or even inflation protected securities like TIPS, which can help you outpace inflation and keep your purchasing power intact. All right, so here's another very common mistake, avoiding credit cards or using them incorrectly. In 2025, credit cards can be a very powerful tool when used wisely, but they can also quickly spiral out of control if you're not very careful. Some people avoid credit cards entirely because they're worried about debt, but that can actually hurt your credit score. Here's the deal, credit scores are an important factor for things like getting a loan, renting an apartment, or even some jobs. A solid credit score opens up better financial opportunities. But here's the kicker, using your credit card irresponsibly or carrying a high balance month after month can ruin your credit score with interest rates and late fees. So, what should you do? Use your credit card for small everyday purchases and pay it off in full each month or every week, like I do. This builds credit without risking debt. Also, avoid maxing out your limit. Ideally, you should aim to use no more than 30% of your available credit. Another huge mistake is not starting to invest early enough. Whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or beyond, the earlier you start investing, the better. Time is one of your biggest allies in building wealth. Thanks to compound interest, the earlier you start, the more your money will grow over time. I get it. Investing can seem overwhelming if you're not familiar with the stock market or real estate, but you don't have to go all in right away. Start with small amounts and take the time to learn. If you're in your 20s, even $100 a month invested in low cost index funds or ETFs can turn into a substantial nest egg by the time you're ready to retire. In 2025, there are so many easy ways to invest through robo advisors, apps like Acorns or Stash, or even with a simple brokerage account. The key here is to get started now before you miss out on the benefits of time and compounding. Another big mistake is relying solely on one source of income. We've seen it time and time again. Life happens, and job security can be very unpredictable. Especially in 2025, where the job market and economy are changing rapidly, having just one paycheck to rely on might not be enough. The solution? Build multiple streams of income. This could mean starting a side hustle, investing in stocks or real estate, or even monetizing a hobby. With today's digital world, there are so many ways to create passive income, like creating online content, renting out property, or selling products online. Having multiple income streams isn't just about extra cash, it also gives you peace of mind and helps protect you in case one source of income dries up. Now, here's one that often gets pushed to the back burner: not planning for retirement. It's easy to think, I'll worry about retirement later, but the earlier you start planning, the easier it'll be when you're older. In 2025, retirement planning is more important than ever with a rise in healthcare costs and longer life expectancies. If your employer offers a 401k match, take advantage of it. It's essentially free money. But even if you don't have access to a 401k, there are other retirement accounts like IRAs or Roth IRAs you can open up yourself. The goal is to make sure you're setting aside a portion of your income regularly and invest in it for the long term. And last but not least, not having an emergency fund. Life is very unpredictable and unexpected expenses will come up, whether it's a medical emergency, a car repair, or a job loss. Without an emergency fund, you might have to rely on credit cards or loans to cover those costs, putting you further into debt. Financial experts recommend having at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved in an easily accessible account. In 2025, there's no excuse not to start building this safety net, especially with online high yield savings accounts offering better interest rates than traditional banks. And there you have it. These are the financial mistakes you need to avoid in 2025 if you want to set yourself up for a long term financial success. Remember, budget, invest early, plan for retirement, and build that emergency fund. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below with your biggest financial goal for this year, and let's chat about it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.